Welcome back to H-Lock Gaming. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some graphical upgrades. This will be part 2 of that kit upgrade video I did about a week ago. It was getting too long, so I cut it off, and this will be the part 2 of that for just some visual upgrades as far as character, texturization and skills. But before we get into that, just wanted to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Festivus for the rest of us. And down below, let me know what you're looking most forward to in terms of Godforge in the new year. As far as what I'm looking forward to, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know what it is. I want to see that full Merlin kit reveal, you know, He's been my favorite for a long time based on the concept art. So I really am hoping I get to see that soon coming up, If I have to wait for the full release, or not the full release of the game, the MVP release, I will do so. But that's my Christmas wish. If anyone on Fateless sees this and they can grant it, it would be greatly appreciated. All right, let's take a look at Drax's core skill. Now, these are old content creator leaks that I'm going to be using. I couldn't find all the skills, but I did find some of them. Obviously, the skills we're going to look at are the same for the character kit changes, being Dracula, Loki, and Ra. So here we're going to start off with Dracula's core ability. Okay, and here we're going to see the updated version. It's much clearer in this one. I know the past example wasn't the best. I looked through some of my old footage, or rather I tried to. Turns out I deleted most of my alpha footage to make room. So the only stuff I had on YouTube was on autoplay, where, it kind of darkens the background a little bit, and I just didn't think that looked great, so I thought it was better to kind of use the old CC leak stuff. But let's take a look anyways. But to me, it looks like there's a bit more kind of a blood mist, if you want to call it that. Yeah, it was hard to see. Let's see if I can pause it at the right time. There you go. It's kind of hard to see, because it's a paused video, but it just looks kind of like they added more of sort of this glow effect. I think that's the main difference we're seeing in that skill. And also, it's kind of hard to tell because in the other one we had, little side characters that he was also affecting, and here it's just him. Here we're going to see Dracula's ultimate, or rather his old ultimate. Now we're going to see what the new ultimate looks like. I noticed the main difference is there's some, like, I don't know, weird blood, almost like vapors. So kind of watch this area after the skill is done, and it seems like the strikes are quicker. Yeah, see this stuff right here? That's kind of cool. That appears to be different. I didn't see that before, and it seems a little bit quicker. Let me know down below if you think it's quicker, but let's go back again. Yeah, see those like little, that's cool, that's cool. And then I couldn't really find a good example of the basics, so we'll just go back and take a look at that. I'm not sure, but I think those sort of blood droplets we just saw might be new. But other than that, it looks pretty similar. Could be wrong. Let me know down below. Yeah, see those little blood droplets there? That's pretty cool looking. Okay, for Raw, the only thing I could really find that I had that was old was the ultimate. So let's take a look at that. As far as I remember, that's pretty much how it looked in the alpha as well. Here we're about to see an example of what it looks like now. And keep in mind, they have a different camera view than the old one, which was sort of the top camera view. Obviously, it wasn't, in-game like this either. It was in sort of their VFX engine, but you still get the idea. Let's take a look and see how it's changed. Okay. Oh, yeah. That was kind of hard to see. I wish they would have done that at a different angle, but it looks like there is a lot more, like, sort of this fire stuff here. And I don't remember if those lines were there before. Let's go back and take a look, actually, see if those lines were there. Okay, so you can see them here. They do look a bit different, but also this is a work in progress from before the alpha. So they might have been changed in the alpha, but I can't remember. And like I said, I couldn't really find a good example. Part of that was I didn't really use raw that much in the alpha. I was going to, but then I went a different way with something I was doing. And spoiler alert, I have like nothing for Loki because I didn't use him at all, at least in the last stage. And I can't even remember what I did in the first two. But yeah, so those lines look different. And then it looks like there was, sort of a bigger flare effect. Let's pull that back up again. Okay, let's take a look here. So this part, yeah, it just looks like, it's hard to tell from that POV, but it just like it has more of a pop effect, more of a bang, to it. And I don't really have good examples, like I said, for the other one, so it's kind of just go through these and see what the core and the basic look like now. That definitely has more flames to it, I'd say, going off of memory, Go back, take a look at that again. Yeah, I think that just has more flames. Very good looking now. Okay, here we're going to see the core ability. Same. I think it just kind of has more of a pop. The colors are more vibrant, just more flames. Very nice, very nice. Digging that. All right. Well, I lied. I found something. Again, you can see down there pre-alpha footage, but we'll still get an idea. I think right here he's just going to use his basic, so we'll take a look at that. All right, that's what it looked like before. All right, now this is the upgraded version. Yeah, and just like raw, more vibrant. I saw more purple there. Let's go back and kind of I don't know, they exaggerated the sort of a mist or smoke effect a bit more, it looks like. Yeah, very nice looking, and that kind of like little puff, and it's hard to see. It's gone, but yeah, there's kind of a puff at the end. Now we're gonna see the core ability. So kind of swirls, and I mean, that one was pretty good looking already, wasn't it? Yeah, that one's very good looking. All right, guess we'll see how they changed it. All right, now we'll see the upgraded VFX for the core. Oh, so they simplified it. They didn't kind of do that swirl like they did before. I guess that kind of makes sense, right? Because the skill is way different. And this is kind of cool that the Z's, the sleeping part, is sort of the color of, I don't know, his whole set, similar to his other skills. Let's take a look at that again. It was very quick. Yeah, so now there's kind of that wave as well because it hits multiple enemies. Okay, and yeah, those Z's, that's very cool looking. But yeah, so they kind of got rid of that swirl. Okay, we get it, we get it. Nice, I'm digging it. All right, now the ultimate, the old version. Okay, here we got the old version of his ultimate. Oh yeah, I forgot. It wasn't working in game, so they had to cut to it. Oh yeah, and keep in mind this is the POV camera again, but we'll still get an idea of how it changes. Okay, so you still got the swirl. So I didn't see the daggers change color, so it seems like they kind of simplified it. Maybe that's an optimization thing, you know, so they can get it on more devices, which I know is a big goal of theirs. So let's take a look again, though. So still that swirl. It looks pretty similar, you know. The dagger thing is a bit different. And again, keep in mind we're in a different perspective, but I think in the top-down view, you'd see the same kind of like pop behind, and maybe the after effect is a bit muted as well, as far as not as much is going on, not in terms of color. The coloring seems to be the same. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at sort of the texture changes on the character model. This one was honestly the most shocking to me. It kind of creeped me out when I first saw the difference and how crazy it was. Not creeped out in a bad way, but I was like, that's kind of crazy. Because, I mean, smaller studio, smaller budget. This is a very good model, you know? I understand why they wanted to upgrade it. You'll see in a minute how crazy it looks like. But this looks fine. It's a game, right? But now let's take a look at the upgrade. Look at that. That's practically a real face, right? You can see the lines in the skin here and around the mouth and the darkening under the eyes. Like, it is a drastic change. That is crazy for a tiny model that most people won't look that close at. I get it though, you know, when content creators are going to be, you know, featuring things from this game and they're going to show off characters in the character screen and you see that face just looking so realistic, like it's going to help them sell the game. That's what I'm getting at. And it's very noticeable. It's a drastic upgrade. But yeah, that's Isolde or Isolde. I'm not sure how you say it. Let's get to the next character. All right, here we got Aphrodite before and after. And again, just the changing and the texturing of the skin and the lines looks much more like a real person. A nice upgrade there as well. All right, in these last few, I'm not entirely sure who they are. I can't remember offhand. I was thinking this was Morgan Le Fay, but I'm not sure about these little like skulls and beaks at the top. So I might be wrong about that. But the important part here is sort of the visual upgrade. And again, just much more realistic. You know, that's another drastic one. Like Isolde from like a good model that would still be very good in game to a great model. And down below, if you remember these last three, let me know who they are. So this last one's kind of interesting. And again, let me know down below if you remember who this is. I think these are two old versions, right? This is like version 1. This is version 2, which you can see an improvement. And then here we get, you know, this, which this almost looks like AI, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like if somebody posted this and said this was a real person, you would zoom in and be like, man, that almost looks like a real person, but I'm pretty sure it's AI. And it's not AI, it's just their design, but that's how crazy it looks. And then like this skin down here, right? Like, I don't know what these bumps are, some type of tribal thing, but like, this just looks like real skin. Crazy, man. This one was less dramatic. It's this model I think they did later, so I don't know, their techniques, their abilities are already a bit better, but you'll still see a pretty big change. And again, the blurriness is more just to do with the screenshot, me zooming in on it. But you can see sort of the bags under his eyes. And yeah, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, that's it for this year. I don't think I'm gonna put out any other videos. There is the Godforge mini game, so be sure you're doing that to get some free buffs beforehand. Sadly, the gods have not smiled upon me. I have pulled no legendaries. Down below, let me know what you got. I'm still hoping to get a legendary. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the premium yet either. You know, it goes till the end of January, so I think if I decide kind of by the 30th of December, you know, so I have a full month of it, that's kind of when that'll be my break point. I'll have to decide by then, but I'm still thinking about it. Thanks for everyone who subscribed over this past year, you know. It's been a great journey. The alpha was tons of fun, and I look forward to the game coming out. And this has been HLock. Thanks for watching. Bye.